All right. Hello, you guys. Welcome to today's masterclass, Become Unstoppable and Conquer Binge Eating. I am so excited about this masterclass today. Every single time I lead a training, I lead a masterclass, I'm like, this is going to be the best masterclass, but truly, this is going to be a very special masterclass because I know that you want nothing more than to stop your binge eating. I know that you care about your health. Your health is your number one priority. Conquering binge eating is extremely important for you. And I know that you're done with the whole diets. You're done with the whole quick fixes. You're done with thinking about food 24/7. You're done with having these strong, demanding urges to binge. You're done with, over exercising and feeling bloated and, just feeling sluggish, like you're ready to be free. How many of you guys want that? Drop a yes in the chat if you're like, yes, like I want to be free. I just want to eat when I'm hungry and stop when I'm full. I want to get my mental real estate back so food's not on my mind 24/7. You want to feel peace. You want to feel at ease. You want to feel calm and relaxed around food. If that's you, drop a yes in the chat. If you're like, I am so freaking ready to conquer binge eating. Drop a yes, 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 yes. I love all the yeses. Crystal, Kelsey, Ariman, Christine, yes, 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 yes. Okay, amazing. So the reason that I wanted to do this masterclass is because on January 31st of 2019, I made a decision to conquer binge eating. Now, when I made this decision, I'm ready to transform my relationship with food. I'm ready to put an end to binge eating. I didn't just say I wanted to conquer binge eating. I didn't just say, well, I hope it happens. I didn't just say, well, one day, it would be really nice if I could get there. I didn't just say I wanted to, I hope, well, hopefully it happens, but I actually took the necessary steps to get there. So when I made a decision on January 31st, 2019, I'll never forget that day, I said, I am going to stop binge eating. And I fully committed towards this. Drop committed in the chat. Drop committed because there's a difference between I hope I conquer, I want to conquer, ooh, it would be nice if I conquer, and I am committed. I am going to do this. Yes, committed, committed, committed. So today I want to walk you through the specific steps that I took to get here now that I am completely binge free. I haven't binged in well over 4 years now. So I know what it takes to conquer binge eating. And I know how to help you conquer binge eating because not only do I have lived experience with binge eating and I've overcome that, which is really, really powerful, but I've helped so many of my clients stop binge eating. And so many of my clients tell me, I can't remember the last time that I binged. One of my clients inside of Conquer, she's celebrating 123 days binge free. Clients are 80, 90 days binge free. I can't remember the last time I binge. I don't have the urge to binge anymore. So this is not just, oh, this is possible for me. This is possible for my clients. And this could be your reality too, if you really choose to go for it, if you commit to it. Not just say, I want to stop binge eating. Well, one day that'd be nice. It's like, I'm actually going to fully commit and go for it. I'm going to get support from Lorna. I'm going to learn the proper tools. And then I'm not going to just learn the tools, but I'm actually going to implement the tools. So before I actually dive into any of that, I'd love for you to drop in the chat box. Where are you here? Why did you sign up for this masterclass? Why are you wanting to be part of this masterclass? Why did you sign up for this masterclass, Become Unstoppable and Conquer Binge Eating? What specifically drew you to this masterclass? Love for you to drop it in the chat. I want to take control of my eating behaviors. Yes. How empowering is that? Like, I want to take my control back. Yes. I am sick and tired of binge eating and isolating. I'm not living. Well, it's time to freaking live. It's time to freaking live. We got one life. For all the reasons you just named, I need help and I want to take my control back. Yeah. Beautiful. Well, you've come to the right place because I'm the one that can absolutely help you take your control back. I've heard you before. You were a badass. I want to change. I love it. So inside of this masterclass, I'm going to walk you through what it actually takes, what it actually means to even become unstoppable, to conquer binge eating, because all of you said, I want to change. I want to regain my control back. I'm not living. I want to take control. I want to take control back. I want to take control back. I want to take control back. But the truth is, there's going to be challenges. There will be triggers. There will be comments that you have to navigate. And if you don't truly focus on becoming unstoppable, there's going to be so many other things that pulls you off your path towards conquering binge eating. And I want to prevent that from happening for you. I literally want you to wake up every single day excited to conquer binge eating, taking massive action. Like every single day, I'm one step closer. I'm one step closer. And not just taking steps forward towards conquering binge eating, not just taking any step, but taking the right steps. Because how many of you, drop it in the chat if you're like, I'm here to end this for good. Like sustainably. How many of you want to sustainably end your binge eating? You're not even interested in like, oh, binge-free days, and then revert back to old habits. Oh, I had a binge-free month, but then I reverted back to old habits. You're not even interested in that. You don't even want like a few binge-free days. You're like, I'm ready to conquer this for good, for the rest of my life. I'm done with quick fixes. I'm so serious and I'm so committed to conquering binge eating. Yes, I'm over it. Yes, Kelsey, yes. I don't want to go back. I want to cure this for the rest of my life. Yes. So you've come to the right place because that's the only thing that I do with my clients. So becoming unstoppable and conquering binge eating is not just about taking any step. It's about taking the right steps. So you could be thinking that you're trying really hard to conquer binge eating, right? Maybe it's like you're relying on willpower, you're relying on motivation. You're trying really hard to, come on, don't give in one more time, but that's not what you actually need to be conquering binge eating. You might be trying super hard to, eat super healthy, but what you're actually doing is dismissing your cravings and then having these strong, demanding urges to binge. And so a part of you is like, I'm committed. I'm trying really, really hard. Like I'm really focusing on willpower and I'm trying really hard. And I actually even said no to the cookie today. But saying no to the cookie is not what's going to stop you or prevent you from actually binging on the cookies. In fact, the reason that you said no to the cookie today was actually why you ended up binging later on at night. So I know you want this. I know you're trying. I know this is extremely important for you to conquer. But it's not just showing up and doing any steps. You need the right tools. You need the right steps to become less impulsive with food, to get rid of your urges, to get back in tune with your hunger and fullness cues. Not be actually doing something that without even recognizing is actually creating a strong demanding urge. I remember on my journey so many times I'd be like, I did good today. I didn't have chocolate for lunch. And I'm like, I did so good. I thought I was doing good when actually what that did was that created a strong demanding urge to binge on the entire box of chocolate later on in the evening. So this is a very important distinction before I hear that. Yeah. Before I even dive into specifics of what I've done, it's so important, again, the right tools. Here I was, I'm like, I'm ready to change my life. I'm ready to conquer. But I actually didn't realize that what I was doing was creating these urges by dismissing my cravings. So I did so good today, didn't have chocolate today. But that actually is what created another binge. Oh, I ate so healthy today. When everyone else was getting pizza and pasta, I ordered the salad and I'm so proud of myself. And then I went home and I binged because I wasn't satisfied. So it's like if you think that you're trying, and I know you're here, you care, you're ready to conquer, but what you're doing right now, the steps that you are taking is actually creating urges versus getting rid of them. And what you actually want is to get rid of them. It's not just about I'm trying, but you need the right proper steps. Okay. So one of the most impactful, life-changing steps that I took to conquer binge eating was back in 2018. And I committed to eating intuitively. Drop a me in the chat if you are eating intuitively right now. Are you eating intuitively right now? Meaning you're not tracking your macros, you're not following any diet plan, you're eating intuitively. I want you to pay attention to my mindset here and throughout this entire masterclass, because I took very intentional steps. Crystal says me. 2018, I committed to eating intuitively. And it was scary because I felt so disconnected from my hunger and fullness cues. I was on diets for 10 years of my life. I didn't feel like I could trust myself. I didn't even know, am I hungry? Am I full? Is this a craving? Is this an urge? Like I was very disconnected from my body. But I knew deep down what I wanted for future Lorna was to eat intuitively and to eat balanced, to eat when I'm hungry and stop when I'm full. So in that moment, even though I was disconnected from hunger and fullness, and I thought I can't eat intuitively, I don't even know when I'm hungry. I don't even know what foods I like. My hunger and fullness cues are literally so out of whack. I just keep on eating and I know that I'm full and then I still keep on eating. I said, this is exactly why you need to eat intuitively. Because the only way that you are actually going to become more connected to your hunger and your fullness cues and to trust yourself is by stop following the rules of how much you need to eat, what you need to eat. So future Lorna wanted to feel calm and balanced and relaxed around food. Future Lorna wanted to eat intuitively and never have to diet ever again. Future Lorna wanted to just easily eat just like breathing air. It's like, I just want it to be effortless. So in that moment, I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm so out of control with food. Okay, well, I know I mindlessly snack and I eat even though I'm not hungry. And I know that I'm full and I just keep on eating. So I can't trust myself. I said, what does future Lorna want? She never wants to diet ever again. There's so many times on my journey I said, Monday, for real. No, for real, this week, for real, actually. Come Monday, for real, I'm getting my shit together. And it was like every single Monday, it was like, no, this week. No, for real this week. No, actually this week. It was like the same thing. So I said, I'm done with that. I want to eat when I'm hungry, stop when I'm full. I don't want to have to start, stop. Oh, gonna do good today. I just wanted consistency now. So I didn't know how to eat because I was on diets for 10 years, but I was committed. I was ready for a better relationship with food. I was done with food controlling my life. So I said, this is it. I'm eating intuitively. There's no going back. There's no, oh, I'm going to try this. I'm committed. So I was eating intuitively. I stopped weighing myself. I stopped tracking my food. I was eating intuitively. But here's what happened. I felt even more out of control. I felt even more out of control. Have you started eating intuitively and you felt more out of control? In 2018, I said, I'm going to eat intuitively. But I felt like I was spiraling even more out of control. I felt like I was eating more. I was binging more. I was eating foods that just didn't make me feel good because technically I could. And I had this breakthrough epiphany moment. I thought I was eating intuitively. I thought I was eating intuitively. But at this point, I was trying on my own. So I didn't have support. I didn't have coaching. And what I actually realized, I was not even eating intuitively. Here I was thinking, I'm eating intuitively. I deleted my fitness pal. I'm releasing my food, or I'm not dieting anymore. I was not eating intuitively. I thought deleting my fitness pal meant eating intuitively. Oh, you can just allow yourself to have whatever you want. That is not intuitive eating. That is a free for all. It's not intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is not just eat whatever you want. It's actually not that. And if you've been told that, that's why you felt out of control. It's not just eat whatever you want. So the reason that you're spiraling out of control is you're not actually eating intuitively. Yes, there is an aspect, there's a portion of giving yourself permission to eat the foods that you love. That's important. But it does not mean go to the grocery store, buy whatever foods that you want. Technically, you're allowed to eat them. So just eat whatever you want. And if you want the ice cream for lunch, and if you also want it for after, like, just have it. Of course, you're not going to feel good. Of course, you're going to feel sluggish and bloated. This is not intuitive eating. So right now, you might be saying, like, I'm trying to eat intuitively because I'm not dieting. And I know you're trying, but there's a difference between I'm actually eating intuitively and being in tune with my body and eating foods that make me feel really good. And I'm paying attention to my hunger and my fullness, and I'm becoming more aware of my body, and I'm eating foods that make me feel really good compared to just eating whatever I want. It's a free-for-all. So in 2018, what I actually did was I re-downloaded my Fitness Pal because I was like, there's no way this is going to work. There's no way this is going to work. But why I felt like this wasn't going to work was because I was trying to figure out how to do this on my own. I didn't have support from a coach. I was literally just trying to figure out how to do this on my own. And it feels really scary when you're trying to do this on your own. You're like, is this the right path? I don't know. Like, how do I even know if I'm on the right track? I thought the whole time I was eating intuitively, but I wasn't. I was doing a free-for-all, which is way different than eating intuitively. So when I said I'm ready to stop binge eating, this is what I mean by it's not I'm ready and I'm just going to try anything. It's about taking the right steps. It's about taking the right steps. Even with my urges, how many of you guys have strong urges to binge? Drop urge in the chat if you're like, I'm way too familiar with these urges. Drop urge in the chat if you're like, I have these strong demanding urges. I kept trying to not give in. I didn't know what to do at the time. So I just tried to not give in. But that wasn't a predictable way to stop my binge eating. I would text my husband after I binge and just be like so frustrated, like, oh, why did I do it again? But I was just trying, but I didn't have actually tools to get rid of my urges. I was actually exacerbating my urges, dismissing my cravings, spiraling into a binge, saying no to the chocolate for lunch, having an urge later on at night. And again, why this happened before 2019 was I didn't have support from a coach, especially from somebody who actually understood binge eating. I didn't know what to do to not give in to my urges. And I felt like I was trying, but I wasn't actually taking the right steps. I was taking steps that were actually making me more impulsive with food, having more strong urges versus actually getting rid of them. So that was a huge epiphany moment for me in 2018. Why I needed to share that before I actually get into what I specifically did was because I see you. I see you. You care about conquering binge eating. You want nothing more than to stop your binge eating. But again, it's like, what steps are we actually taking? Here I was, 2018. I'm like, I deleted my MyFitnessPal. I'm eating into it. I thought I was doing all the right things. But I was actually binging more because I wasn't getting rid of my urges. I was actually creating urges. That was a huge moment for me. So fast forward to 2019. I said, I'm committing. I'm committing to ending binge eating. But this time was different. To me, committing did not mean I'm going to try to do this on my own. Committing didn't mean I hope it works. I hope I'm more motivated this time. To me, being committed and being unstoppable to conquer binge eating it was making a clear decision. I am conquering. I am going to get the right support. I'm not going to try to figure out how to do this on my own. I'm actually going to learn brain-based tools. There's no going back. Nothing is going to stop me. When you say, I am going to do this, I am going to conquer, how many of you want to be certain that you know how to actually get there? You want to be certain of like how to actually stop your binge eating, how to actually get rid of your urges, how to become less impulsive with food. No more second guessing. For me, I didn't want to be second guessing. I didn't want to be doing things that were actually making my urges more intense unintentionally. Like I didn't want to be doing that unintentionally. So for me, becoming unstoppable meant no more throwing spaghetti at the wall. No more, oh, let me just try this. I wanted a clear process that I can walk through with confidence to say, look, I'm so committed to this. And I know that I'm going to stop binge eating because I actually have brain-based tools. I have support from a coach, the community. Those were 3 things that made me feel so confident that I was going to stop my binge eating. Number 1, I worked with a coach. This is why clients come to work with me. They value that. They're like, Lorna, you've been through this? I don't want to like second guess. It's like, no, I actually want to know what to do to stop my binge eating. Number 2, I had proper tools to actually get rid of my urges. Number 3, I was part of a community. And by the way, this is why I created Conquer. I'm going to be talking to you about this at the end of the masterclass. You need the right support, the accountability, the coaching. I'll be talking about this at the end of the masterclass. But for now, committing to conquering binge eating is a decision. And you can decide how you want to go about it. But for me, I, like many of you all on here, you're serious about wanting a healthy relationship with food. You guys all said, I'm ready to change. I'm ready to change. So I was in that position too. And I said, well, if I'm ready, I'm going to make sure that I got the right support. I know the right tools. There's no second guessing. And I want you to get honest with yourself right now. Can you, with 100% certainty, say that you know how to conquer binge eating? Can you say with 100% certainty that you know how to get rid of your urges? How to become less impulsive with food? How to eat intuitively? How to be able to just stop when you're full? Do you know how to listen to your body? Do you know how to honor a craving without it spiraling into a binge? I want you to get honest with yourself and drop it in the chat. Can you say with 100% certainty, yes, I know I have a clear path. I know how I will get there. Because there's a difference between committing and saying, I am going to do this, and you actually have a clear path, knowing that you're confidently going to conquer binge eating, versus I want to, but I just don't know how. And it's okay if you don't know how, because that's why I'm here. But in 2018, I couldn't say with certainty that I knew how to stop binge eating. In 2019, when I made that decision and I made that commitment to myself, I said 100%, I know that I'm going to be able to eat intuitively. I know I'm going to conquer binge eating because I'm set up. I'm set up. My clients know that they're going to conquer because they have the right mindset. They have the right tools. They know how to get rid of their urges. It's not about, oh, when am I going to stop? I better stop this month. It doesn't mean that it's easy, but somebody who's unstoppable and actually conquers binge eating, they don't say, well, it's hard to feel my hunger and fullness cues. I'm probably never going to get them back. They say, yeah, I've been dieting for 10 plus years. Don't really know when I'm hungry. Yeah, hunger and fullness cues are out of whack. That's a fact. But you know what that means? I'm going to be even more committed to slowing down, to checking in, and to feel my hunger and fullness cues. Being unstoppable does not mean smooth sailing. This journey is perfect. It means once I actually make the decision and I get the coaching and I actually get the support, there's no going back. It's not, I'm going to wave a magic wand and all of a sudden I'm just going to eat when I'm hungry and I'm going to stop when I'm full. It means that I am doing this no matter what, even when it's challenging. When it came to hunger and fullness cues, it took some time. But that made me pay more attention instead of rushing to my meals. I limited distractions. I would put my utensils down. I became more in tune with my body. And instead of getting frustrated that I kept on overeating and getting mad at myself for, mindlessly snacking, I said, this is going to take time. But I saw every meal as an opportunity to get to know myself a little bit better. Are you seeing challenges as failures or opportunities? I saw my challenges as opportunities to always become better. So when I didn't know what food satisfied me, when I was out of touch with my hunger and fullness cues, instead of becoming frustrated, I slowed down. I checked in with myself. Okay, what foods leave me feeling full and satisfied? What foods, what meals can I eat and I feel so satisfied I can go about my night and not even think about food afterwards? What foods leave me maybe full but not satisfied? What foods leave me feeling full and bloated and heavy and lethargic? It's the self-exploration. It's getting in tune with your body. This is the opportunity. Are you seeing a challenge as a failure, or are you seeing a challenge as an opportunity? I saw this as all opportunities. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, well, you overate at that meal. Okay, well, let's dive a little bit deeper. Was your meal actually satisfying? Did you enjoy it? Did you wait too long to eat before going into that meal? Instead of beating myself up, it's like, let's just explore. I'm seeing this as an opportunity. Okay, well, you were starving going into your meal. Well, of course you overate. Oh, you wanted a smoothie for dinner, but then you got in your head and you said, oh, well, you had fruit for breakfast. So, and you know what? You didn't even have any vegetables today. So you know what? You better have the salad for dinner. So then you end up having the salad for dinner and you weren't even satisfied. So then you had the salad for dinner and then you end up having the smoothie anyways. Okay, that makes sense. Do you see? It's like I found the opportunities. I wasn't beating myself up and say, oh, you overate again. It's like, well, let me find the opportunity. Instead of saying I failed, oh, you overate again, failure. It's like, let me turn this challenge into an opportunity of how I can do better next time at the next meal. Because becoming unstoppable does not mean perfect. It doesn't. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean everything's going to be smooth sailing. I was actually even talking to a VIP Academy client, and I said, this journey is not always easy, but you're not actually here for easy. If it was easy, every single person would conquer. But the truth is, the only people that conquer are willing to find those opportunities, to be patient, and to be willing to get back in tune with their hunger and fullness cues. The people that conquer are willing to sit with the discomfort and actually utilize a tool to not give in to the urges versus saying, oh, one last time. Tomorrow's going to be better. Do you see the mindset? So one person can say, oh, I keep on eating past fullness. Like, that sucks. I keep on overeating. But they don't change anything compared to somebody else. You, as the badass, you might say, okay, yeah, I'm still overeating and I'm still binging, but I'm going to ask myself, what can I do differently next time? Oh, I'm going to bring this up to my coach and see what tweaks I can make. Maybe even strategic things that I need to shift. Or maybe there's something going on in my mindset. Maybe there's a block. Remember how I said at the beginning of the training, when I thought I was trying, I'm like, I did so good. I said no to chocolate during the day. And I was like, wait, why did I binge later on? And as a coach, I can easily look at that and say, I know exactly why you binge later on at night, because you dismissed a craving during the day. It's like, oh, breakthrough. So my clients will come on to our coaching calls or the trainings and ask questions and say, hey, I overate yesterday. So here's the situation. What can I do differently? And then I reflect back to them what they can do differently. And then it's like every single week, you're going to be making progress, because it's not just about doing the same thing. Okay, well, I'm overeating. Well, yeah, it's hard to get back into the hunger and fullness cues. It's like, let's do something different. Drop different in the chat. If you're awake, if you're alive, if you're here on this masterclass, drop different. You have to be doing something different. I have my eyes on my client's journey. They don't have to try to figure out how to do this on their own. I give them feedback. And here, okay, this is what you need to do to stop your overeating. Okay, this is what you got to do to get rid of your urges. One of my clients, she was having lasagna. She was craving lasagna, and there was 2 different lasagnas. There was a lasagna with cheese and then a healthier alternative. And she said, I ended up going for the healthier alternative, but I actually really wanted the lasagna that had the cheese on it. And then she said, so I had the alternative, but I ended up overeating on the lasagna that had the cheese later on. And within 2 seconds, I shared exactly why. And I said, if you would have had the lasagna that you wanted in the first place with the cheese, but honored that craving instead of trying to do good and have the healthier alternative, but actually satisfy yourself, not try to be perfect, not try to do quote unquote good and have the healthier alternative, even though it's not what you want, that's going to backfire. And so she had so much clarity within like a 2-minute back and forth. And that was a breaking moment for her. Okay, now I know how to prevent a session of overeating. Okay, now I know what to do differently next time. This is actually how you become unstoppable. It's not smooth sailing the whole journey. But when you overeat or you binge and you ask me your question and I reflect back to you what you can do differently, you have a different perspective. Oh, I actually didn't even realize that that was a craving and I dismissed it. So now it turned into an urge. Oh, I actually didn't realize that I thought I wasn't really restricting myself, but man, was I ever judging myself. Having that perspective is so important. Now, another thing that I needed to do to become unstoppable was I needed to tell Andrew, at the time he was my boyfriend, now he's my husband, I needed to tell him that I struggled with my relationship with food. And I want to know, have you ever told a loved one that you struggle with binge eating? Have you opened up? Have you actually shared with a loved one or a partner that you struggle with binge eating? Yes, they don't get it. Yes. So it's one thing to have courage to share with a partner or to share with a loved one that you're struggling with your relationship with food. But what often happens, and if you've ever shared this with a loved one, what often happens after you tell a loved one that you're struggling with binge eating, right? There's so much relief. It's like, oh, finally, I don't have to like hide this secret. But what actually ends up happening is now there's fear. Is my partner judging me? Is my partner thinking that I'm binging right now? Is my partner judging everything that I'm eating? Because they think that I'm binging. Oh my God, I can't even eat when I'm home alone, even though I'm not binging. But what if I'm actually eating and I'm not even actually binging? I'm just hungry. But then they come home and then they think I'm eating in secret. Becoming unstoppable is not worrying about what other people think. It's so easy to think everyone's judging you, especially when you're opening up about struggling with binge eating. It's easy to think like, oh, my partner's definitely judging me now. Now that they know I binge, like, do they think I'm binging right now? They're questioning what I'm eating. But if you want to become unstoppable to conquer binge eating, you need to let this go. You cannot hold on to, are they judging me? They're definitely thinking that I'm eating a lot. Oh my gosh, like, are they judging me for the fact that I'm having something sweet after my meal? You're so up in your head worrying about other people. So you need to be brave and courageous and share with a partner and a loved one, if you haven't, that you are experiencing, binge eating, because you deserve it for you to feel that sense of relief, but then also not be worried about them commenting. You cannot be worried about them judging you, because somebody who is unstoppable and conquers binge eating does not worry about what other people think about them. They're focused on their path. They're focused on, this is what actually satisfies me. This is the food that tastes good. These are the foods I like. This is how much I want to eat. Not, let me choose what I think I should order so people don't comment. Or, okay, I really want something sweet to eat, and I know my partner has a Zoom meeting in 20 minutes, so I'm going to wait until 20 minutes. And then when they go upstairs and they're not around, then I'm going to go and have the chocolate. That is not you being unstoppable. That is you worrying about what other people think. That's you even doing some people pleasing. You can't do this on the journey. You need to focus on you, your plate, what you're eating, what's satisfying for you. What's actually most important for you is having those satisfying meals. One of my clients went out for breakfast and she said all of her friends were ordering like egg white omelets. And she didn't want that. I think she ordered pancakes. And that's what I actually want. And guess what? She felt super satisfied and she went home and she didn't end up binging. But imagine if she said, oh, well, oh my gosh, everyone else is ordering egg white omelets. Maybe I should be ordering that. If you do that and you're so worried about, oh, what is everyone else eating? Are they going to judge me? Okay, well, I don't want them to judge me. I don't want them to comment that I'm the only person having pancakes. So maybe I should just have the egg white omelet, but you're not going to be satisfied. That's what's going to create an urge to binge later on. So not being worried about what other people think, or they, like many of you guys said, your partner is not even going to get it. You can explain 2,500 million times, this is what binge eating is. It's not overeating. No, you don't get it. Like, I'm not just eating a little bit too much. Your partner is like, well, on Friday night, sometimes I have more chips and, like, it's fine. Or like, sometimes I overeat and you're like, you don't have a freaking clue. Right? And it's not their fault and it's not your fault either. But it's about understanding. They're never going to understand. And this is why coaching is so impactful. This is why actually, explaining things about binge eating and feeling seen and understood is so important, because you most likely don't have it at home. So that's going to be a massive step for you to be able to become unstoppable. Stop worrying about what Sally Sue is eating and what your partner is eating. And if your partner comments, it's like, what do you actually want? What's going to be most satisfying for you? That's really important. Now, the other thing that I needed to do to become unstoppable, and what you're going to have to focus on, is getting comfortable eating in front of other people. There was a time on my journey where I would go to Andrew's parents' house, and asking for something to eat was so scary. Like, I don't know what it was. It was like, I am terrified to say that I'm hungry and I want something to eat. And I knew why, because here's the thing, because when you tell somebody I'm hungry, can I have something to eat? What's the next thing that they typically say? Okay, well, what are you hungry for? What do you want? And in the past, I was so like indecisive. And I'm like, I don't even know what I want. I don't even know, like, am I actually even hungry? Is this a craving? Is this an like, I was so like out of whack with my body. So I was like, well, if I ask for something to eat and they're going to ask me back, what do I want? And then I'm going to have to make a decision. And so I was like, I'm just not going to say anything. But then I said, the unstoppable version of you who feels free around food and who fully conquered binge eating would not be afraid to ask for something to eat. She would not starve herself and then binge when she got home. She would actually honor her hunger. So here we go. Let's go. Hey, can I have something to eat? Hey, I'm actually hungry right now. Being unstoppable does not mean that it's an easy step. That, for me, that was challenging, to eat in front of other people, to even ask, like, I want something to eat. Like, that was scary sometimes. My husband does not understand me trying to intuitively eat. He's a nighttime eater. He brings home so much junk and eats it. How can I avoid joining him? So we're going to do some Q&A tomorrow. So we're going to save some questions for then. I just want to make sure that I'm covering all the content for today. But what I will say is this: being unstoppable and conquering binge eating is not, again, I'm so worried about what we're going to think, so I'm going to just starve myself. I'm not going to eat in front of my coworkers because what if my coworker makes a comment? You're giving your power to your coworker. But deep down, what you actually want more than anything is to conquer binge eating. So this is why you have to stay focused on your own lane. And something that goes along the lines of becoming more comfortable eating in front of other people is letting go of labels. Oh, I'm the fit one. I'm the healthy one. That was a big one for me. I was always known, I was holding on to this identity of like, you're the fit one, you're the healthy one in the friend group. And the truth is, I always wanted to take care of myself. But I didn't want my friends to say, oh yeah, Lorna, yeah, she like works out and she eats super healthy and that's all I know about her. I wanted to be the person who lit up the room with my energy and my personality. I wanted to be somebody that took really good care of herself. And people are like, what the heck are you doing? Like, I love your energy. You're glowing. You're so happy. Looks like you take really good care of yourself. Who do you want to be known for? Who do you want to be known for? When somebody's talking about you, what do you want them to say? And I had an honest conversation with myself. And I said, I don't want my friends to say, yeah, Lorna, she eats healthy and she works out. I wanted my friends to be like, Lorna is incredible. She's so dedicated. She's successful, great marriage, takes great care of herself. She looks like she's glowing. She has these like habits in place and she's so consistent with them. And she takes really good care of herself. She's so kind to herself. That's what I wanted. And guess what? That is my reality. People talk about me like this. Lorna is glowing. You look amazing because you take good care of yourself. I love your energy. You light up the room. You're so confident. But I did not get here by holding on to an identity of you're the healthy one, you're the fit one in the friend group. It was, I'm the queen of habits. I'm the queen of self-love. I remember writing inside of my journal in 2019, I literally wrote down, I'm the queen of habits. I'm the queen of self-love. And I take really good care of myself and I feel amazing every single day. So for you, what identities are you holding on to that you don't even want to be known for anymore? Maybe every single person used to go to you and say, well, you always used to talk about what diet you were on. And maybe people are still coming up to you and asking you about like diet advice. And you're like, I'm not even interested in this anymore. You don't want to be talking about diets anymore. You're like so beyond that. You're like, get me out of this space where everyone's just talking about diet culture. Who do you want to be known for? And what identities do you need to let go of? If you want to conquer binge eating, you have to let go of old identities that don't even serve you anymore. I wanted to be, if you know any identities, you can drop them in the chat that you need to let go of. I needed to be somebody, or I wanted to be somebody who worked really hard on herself, that people literally felt it without even asking me. Yeah, I wanted people to be like literally, like, what are you doing? Like, you're just glowing. I wanted that. And this is why inside of Conquer, we work through all these different aspects: confidence, owning your food choices, getting rid of your urges so you're less snappy with your family. How many of you guys are snappy when you're judgy? Or sorry, when you're binging? Or you're hangry? Like anytime I had like a strong urge or I was hangry, I'd be snappy. And I'm like, I don't even want to be, that's not who I am. I don't want to be known as a snappy, irritable partner. You want to actually look forward to being intimate with your partner. You want to effortlessly say yes to spontaneous dates with your partner or friends. One of my clients in the group chat, she said, my husband randomly asked me to go out for lunch and I didn't even hesitate. That's who you want to be: spontaneous, free-flowing, easygoing. This is what conquering binge eating is not. This is what's actually about. It's not about holding yourself back. It's about being confident in who you are, and people can feel that. When you walk into a room and you have so much confidence, people can feel that. When you're at a restaurant and you own your food choices, or you own getting seconds, like, people can feel that. If you spend hours in the gym and you eat super healthy, sure, you might look good, but people don't feel that. It's not like this magnetic energy. But on the other hand, when you're taking really good care of yourself and you've healed your body image, you're not snappy anymore because you've gotten rid of your urges. You're not binging at night, so you actually wake up with energy and you have patience with your kids and you're not impulsive anymore. Like, people can feel that. Food feels effortless for you. People are like, what have you been doing? It looks like you feel amazing. Like, you have so much energy. What are you doing? And you're just like, oh, well, I just conquered binge eating. This is what it's about. What identities do you need to let go of? You're saying goodbye to binge eating, which also means you need to say goodbye to identities that aren't going to come with you to this place of freedom and balance. I said a good freaking bye to so many identities and habits that I needed to let go of, which is why I am here 4 years binge free. So if you know any of identities that you need to let go of, you can drop it in the chat. Okay, I want to be honest with you for this next part. Is it okay? Drop a yes in the chat if that's cool. Drop a yes in the chat if that's cool. If I'm being honest with you with this next aspect. So, yes, please. When I was on my journey, there were people who were conquering binge eating faster than me. People were ending their binge eating faster than me. They were having less urges faster than me. They were healing their body image faster than me. But instead of saying, oh, well, they can, but I can't, or like judging myself, I took accountability and responsibility, and I just asked myself, what can I be doing better? Can I be showing up better for myself? Because the truth was, there were still some sneaky food rules that I needed to let go of. I was still giving into my urges, and I needed to get honest with myself and say, Lorna, you're doing the easier things. So what I mean by this, I was watching all the trainings, but watching trainings is very easy. The hard part is actually implementing the tools. So are you just using and trying tools that feel easier for you, or are you actually utilizing the tools that's going to help you in your next step? So for example, the tools that felt very easy for me to implement very regularly was things like breath work and meditation, my morning routine, right? Journaling, like those things were second nature for me. It was very easy for me to implement them. And don't get me wrong, those are very, very important. However, what the hard part for me was not giving into my urges. And so I had to get honest with myself and say, okay, well, if I truly want to conquer binge eating, I need to commit to potentially that harder tool, right? Than just watching a training or doing the meditation or doing the breath work and the journaling. It's like, no, Lorna, you actually need to not give in to your urges. That was my next step. Oh, that person is conquering because they're not just doing the easy thing. It's like, oh, they're conquering because they're actually doing the hard thing. They're not giving into their urges. So what is your next step? Maybe you've already released some of your food rules, but you're still giving into your urges. So your next step is to not give into your urges. Maybe you're not binging as much, but you're kind of doing some overeating. Well, what you need to focus on is to get back in tune with your hunger and fullness cues. Maybe you've worked through some of your urges, and maybe you're starting to eat intuitively, but you're struggling with body image. So you need to focus on that. Maybe you're having less urges throughout the day, but at night, that's the worst. How many of you guys struggle in the evenings the most? Your next step is to tackle your nighttime binging. And by the way, inside of Conquer, right now, the program that we're running inside of Conquer is Break the Late Night Binge that helps you completely stop your nighttime binging, emotional eating, and habitual snacking. So you have to get honest with yourself and say, are you actually doing the hard thing? There's not just one thing that you need to do to conquer binge eating. There's not just one thing. And I had to get radically honest with myself. I said, Lorna, you're doing the easy thing, okay? You're watching all the trainings, you're doing your morning routine, you're doing the journaling, you're doing the meditation. That's all great. But your next step is you got to not give into your urges. And this is kind of where like the tough love comes into play. It's not just about, like I even said at the beginning of this training, it's not just about doing any tool, but it's the right tool for where you're at that's going to take you to that step to conquer binge eating. And do you even see from this masterclass, we're not even done yet, but do you see that there's not just one thing that you need to do to conquer binge eating? There's an array of different steps that you need to take. Drop a yes in the chat if you're like, yes, it's not just one thing to conquer binge eating. Yes, many things, exactly. This is why I created Conquer. Like I said, I'm going to talk about it at the end, but there's not just one thing. Yes, yes, yes. So getting radically honest with myself was massive. And I said, Lorna, you have high standards for yourself. In every aspect of your life, you have very high standards for yourself. And now you need to hold yourself to a higher standard when it comes to your relationship with food. And stop holding on to this narrative that conquering binge eating is going to be challenging. Watching trainings is easy. Doing your morning routine is easy. But I said, I had to have a conversation with myself. Lorna, you're ready to conquer. You know what you need to do. Your next step is not giving into your urges. And then it was like, okay, well, then once I tackled that, it's like, okay, well, then what's the next thing? Okay, then once I tackle that, what's the next thing? It's having these honest conversations with yourself about, are you actually committed? Because even at the beginning, it's like, oh, I'm so committed at the beginning. Oh my God, I'm so excited to conquer. But then when it actually comes to maybe things being a little challenging, do you pull back? Do you just say you're trying? Do you just stick to the easy things, or are you actually all in? Is it easy? No. When it came to not giving into my urges, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. But I said this to a client. I said, you don't want easy. You love the challenge. If conquering binge eating was easy, I'm going to be so honest with you, it actually would not be fulfilling. If it was so easy to do something, it's like you would do it and then there would be no fulfillment. But actually, it's like when you show up for yourself and you're like, damn, that urge was so freaking strong and I did not give in. Oh my God, I feel like the biggest badass ever. So freaking proud of myself. If this journey was easy, it would not be fulfilling. Yes, I want that. I know. I can tell. I can tell the people who are going to conquer. I can tell. All the clients that come in and work with me, they're like, I want to feel proud of myself. I want to actually feel like the most powerful badass. It's not just about, if it was easy, first of all, everyone would conquer, but also it's like, if you do something that's easy, let's say going for a walk around the block and that's super easy. It's like you come home and you're like, okay, I'm proud of myself. But then let's say you like run like a 5K and you hate running like me, and then you run a 5K, you're like, oh my gosh, I need to tell the whole freaking world that I just did that. It's like, it's rewarding, it's fulfilling. And this is what I focused on my journey. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? This isn't going to be easy, but I don't want easy. I'm ready to put in the work. I love the challenge, actually. And at the end, I'm going to feel so damn proud of myself that I freaking did it, that I gave it my all, that I said I wanted to conquer binge eating, but I didn't just say I wanted to conquer binge eating, but I actually was all in. This is huge. You have one life. And I don't know about you, but I wasn't going to spend the rest of my life struggling with food. I wanted to get excited. Like every single day, I'm like one step closer to becoming less impulsive with food. Every day, I'm one step closer to conquering binge eating. And instead of seeing this journey as like this hard, daunting thing and seeing like conquering binge eating is so far away, it's like you take it one day at a time. You stay in your own lane. This is a huge one. Staying in your own lane. Not worrying about what anyone else is doing, staying in your own lane. So even when I released a lot of my food rules on my journey, on my own time, I released some of my food rules. I needed to stay in my own lane, which meant sometimes I realized I actually didn't want to go out to eat. I actually didn't want dessert all the time because it didn't make me feel good. Now, at the beginning of my journey, I was like, yes to everything. I remember like telling Andrew, I remember telling him, I just want to go to Italy and to eat all the delicious foods because now I don't feel guilty finally. Like after 10 years of, feeling so bad about eating certain foods, I finally released my food rules. Like I want to go to Italy or I want to travel the world and just enjoy all the delicious food now that I have freedom and I don't feel bad or I don't feel guilty about eating certain foods. But then I got to a point where after that phase that I went out for dinner and I allowed myself to have what I wanted, and maybe I ate too much chocolate, more chocolate than I probably would have liked, I was like, I'm kind of done with that. I actually don't want to be eating out all the time. And sometimes, you know what? I actually don't want the pizza. But here's the thing. There was a part of me that just wanted to pay attention to this. Okay? Pay attention to this. There was a part of me that sometimes would just want to say yes to the pizza, let's say at the party, even though I didn't want it, because I didn't want somebody to say, oh, you're not having any? Oh, right, you're the dieter. Oh, right, yeah, you barely eat. I was done with those freaking comments that people would say. So a part of me said, you know what? Fine, I'm just going to have the pizza, even though I don't want it. So nobody asks me if I'm dieting. Because for many years of my life, I would go to a party and I wouldn't eat. Or they would see me barely eating, or I would just have like the salad or whatever. And I was done with that. So it got to a point where even when I was attending social events and I'm like, that doesn't even look good. I don't even want that. There was a part of me that still said yes because I did not want those comments. And I realized, wait a minute. You need to stay in your own lane. Remember what I talked about previously, not worrying about what other people are going to say, or it doesn't matter about anyone else. People can think what they want. They're always going to have their opinions. But I went from never saying yes to going out for dinner and feeling super anxious to then having so much freedom and getting excited to go out for dinner, right? Because I've gotten rid of my urges. I've mastered intuitive eating. I felt like so in my power. I just felt so good. But then I was like, I don't want dessert sometimes. We would go out for dinner and I'm like, sometimes I don't want dessert. And sometimes we would go with Andrew's family and we would go for like dinner and then dessert. And then the next morning they'd be like, you want to do breakfast? And I'm like, no. But it wasn't because, oh my God, the calories, oh my God, the carbs, oh my God, the fat. It wasn't even about that. It was more so like, I just want to feel really good and this doesn't make me feel good. It was not about the calories. It was not about, oh my God, I'm going to gain weight. It was not about that. When you have complete freedom and you conquer binge eating, you don't think about that. But what I was thinking more so like, I don't actually want to do this because I want to feel good. And the best part about conquering binge eating is you have freedom of choice. You have freedom of choice. If I go out for dinner and I don't want the dessert, I can effortlessly say no. But I had to work through that because there were times where I would just say yes because I don't want them to think that I'm dieting. Well, everyone else is having dessert. So are people thinking that I don't have a good relationship with food? Are people thinking that I'm dieting? No. I was so in my own lane. And I said, you know what? I don't have to explain myself. I actually don't care if somebody comments. Let them comment. Comment. Go. What do you have to say? But if I don't want something, I'm not going to eat it because I know in my heart, I'm not dieting. In fact, people don't even realize how much of a healthy relationship with food I do have, where I actually can say no and not spiral into a binge. I can say no to something and not even think about it for the rest of the night. I can say no to something and not feel deprived at all. And I was like, this is my freaking superpower. This is incredible. This is conquer. This is conquering. This is what I've wanted for so long. I wanted to confidently say no to dessert. Let's just say, for example, if I didn't want it, but genuinely say it because I didn't want it. Not, oh, I don't want dessert because I feel like I couldn't have it. It's like, do you see the difference? there's a difference between, I don't want to go out for breakfast. Oh my God, because the calories, I'm like, oh my God, I ate too much. And we went out for dinner yesterday and we also had dessert. So I don't want to go out for dinner. Anxiety focused versus empowered, confident, strong in your decisions, staying in your own lane. I have no interest. You have a good relationship with food and you want to take care of yourself. So you say no as an empowered decision, not because you have to, not because you should, not because anyone else is forcing you. It's like, what do you actually want? What do you actually want? When you conquer, you have freedom of choice. Freedom of choice. Drop it in the chat. Freedom of choice. This is what freedom actually looks like. You have more power. You have more control over your food choices. This is a massive part of me becoming unstoppable and conquering binge eating, was staying in my own lane. Staying in my own lane changed everything. Even this weekend, we were just at a get together and I was joking with a friend, and people have no really concept of, healthy relationships with food, what to say, what not to say. And there were cupcakes. I don't like cupcakes. Like they actually don't faze me at all. Like, give me some dark chocolate and I'll have that. But cupcakes don't really do it for me. And one of the guys there was like, "Oh, you're not having a cupcake? Come on." This is what this person said. "You're skinny. You can have one." And I was like, you have no freaking clue. It's not about the calories. It's not about the weight. I do not desire it. I do not desire it. Well, I don't get triggered. I just laugh. Like, people don't get it at all. But here's the thing. Because I conquered binge eating, there's no urge. And I see that as complete freedom. Some people can be in front of cupcakes and they can't stop thinking about it. But when you conquer binge eating, you have freedom of choice. Do I actually want this? Does this sound good? You have freedom of choice, and there's nothing more empowering than that. I can go out for dinner without guilt, without binging. I could, order what I want, and I can also say no to dessert if I don't want it, because I have freedom of choice. I personally, Andrew and I, we do a lot of home cooked meals, organic food, grass-fed meat. We go to the farmer's market, but that's how I enjoy eating. That's my version of freedom. I don't care what anyone else is eating. I eat to feel good for me. I 100% honor my cravings, but I choose what I want because I'm not worried what Sally and Susan and whoever is eating. It's like, what do I want to eat? What's going to make me feel good? There are times where Andrew and I will have dinner and he's done and I'm like, I want some chocolate. But I'm in my own lane. I make decisions for me. The urge isn't demanding me, Lorna, go into the pantry and you need something right now. It's like, it's this freeing feeling of like, I'm going to have some chocolate. And then you just have some and you move on with your day. This is what freedom actually looks like. There are times where we go out for dinner and Andrew gets dessert and I'm like, it doesn't faze me. I don't want it. This is what conquering binge eating looks like. Freedom is not dessert every night, going out for dinner every single week. It's what makes you feel good. Do you feel empowered by your decisions? I do. I feel very empowered. I feel so good. I don't think about food ever. I honor my cravings. I enjoy my chocolate. I love my dark chocolate. I have my nutritious meals. I go out for dinner. I order dessert sometimes, but I don't have urges. I feel amazing. Why? I stayed in my own lane. Are you staying in your own lane? Now, even when it comes to workouts, I work out the way I want to work out. It doesn't matter. She's working out 7 days per week. Good. She's working out 1 day per good. How do you want to work out? Being unstoppable is not, how is Sally working out? Oh, she looks amazing. Maybe I should start doing her workouts. It's not about that. What do you want to be doing? How do you want to work out? How do you want to eat? Do you need to maybe push yourself and give yourself a little bit more tough love? Or do you need to dial back a little bit and give yourself more compassion? Comparing yourself is not even helpful. Even for coaching, I tell one of my clients, yeah, you got to give yourself a little bit more tough love to not give into your urges. And then somebody else, another client, might be actually implementing a lot of the tools, and maybe she's pushing herself a little bit too much and she needs to pull herself back. This is why coaching is so valuable. Even from one client to the next, every single person is going to be different. You all want to conquer binge eating. But let's say, for example, who's on Marlene might have to release her food rules because there are some sneaky food rules. And then maybe Christine needs to pull a little bit more on gentle nutrition. So becoming unstoppable is getting the right support, taking the right actions, not worrying about, oh, what is Sally eating? Oh, how is this person working out? It's like, what do you need to be doing? It's not worrying about what other people think. It's what do you want to eat? How do you want to eat? Do you actually want the dessert? Get the dessert. If you don't want it, don't get it. It's letting go of labels and habits that cannot come with you as you conquer binge eating. It's staying in your own lane. This is how I got to this point. This is how I went from binging every single day to not binging in 4 years. I let go of old identities. I stayed in my own lane. I wasn't concerned about what is everyone else doing. I had support from a coach. I learned the proper tools and I implemented. I wasn't second guessing what to do. It's like, I know the exact path that I need to take. So I'm going to take the next few moments here. To share how you can actually conquer binge eating. If you want to know how you can actually conquer binge eating, drop an emoji in the chat, because I've created something really epic for you. One of the most life-changing programs that I'm going to talk to you about. Yes, Chris with the fire emoji. I love it. Yes. Okay. I've created my program, Conquer. Many of you guys are inside of Conquer. I think Marlene's on. Marlene just joined Conquer. Conquer will give you everything that you need to conquer binge eating. And by the way, there's a special surprise at the end. Even if you are inside of Conquer, there's going to be a special surprise at the end that you're going to get access to. Nobody actually knows about this. So hang tight. As you've seen from this masterclass, you know there's not one thing that you need to do to conquer binge eating. You need to get rid of your urges. You got to become less impulsive. You got to stop judging yourself. You got to stop worrying about what other people are thinking about your food choices. And you need to start owning your food choices, what you want. You got to step into the confident version of yourself. Let go of identities that don't serve you. You got to work through even your love-hate relationship with food and binging. I hate it, but I also love it. And I don't know if I want to give it up. You have to work through all of this. And this is why I created Conquer. I created Conquer for you because all of you guys said in the chat, this is so important for me. I'm ready to change. I know I need support. I know I need help. I'm not trying to do this on my own. I'm serious about ending binge eating. And I know this is so important for you, and this is why I created this. Inside of Conquer, you get access to every single program that I run over the next 6 or 12 months. You're done with dieting. You're done with thinking about food 24/7. You're done having these like strong urges, and you're ready to feel calm and relaxed around food. You want to eat like a normal person again. You don't want to have these crazy food thoughts. How many of you want to live your life? Somebody said in the chat, I want to start living my life. Drop a yes in the chat. Drop a heck freaking yes in the chat if you're like, I want to live my life. Drop a heck freaking yes in the chat. You want to live your life, but not live it on autopilot, not live it by going through the motions, but truly live. Be present. So here in this moment, experiencing joy and freedom every single day. You want to be part of a community that is other women who are serious about conquering binge eating. Finally, a community that gets you. Many of you guys said you've opened up to your partners and they don't get it. And imagine actually having a community of people who are thinking the same thoughts as you. Finally, other people who aren't talking about dieting, but rather they're talking about how can I step into my higher self today and be the badass who doesn't give into her urges. This is like unlike any other community. These women are committed, they're go-getters, they're positive, they're ready to conquer. They're ready to be the best example to their children. So inside of Conquer, there's a new focus every single month. So this month, it's all about ending nighttime eating. So whether it's binging at night, emotional eating, self-soothing with food at night, habitual snacking, this program that I'm running right now inside of Conquer, the focus for this month is ending nighttime, binging, emotional, habitual snacking. Next month, the focus is on intuitive eating. So getting back in tune with your hunger and fullness cues. So it's easy for you to eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. You can confidently walk into a restaurant, order exactly what you want without overthinking or spending hours deciding, what to eat or looking at the menu ahead of time. You're going to stop thinking about food all day long. You're going to own your food choices. How many of you guys are excited about that part? You're like, I just don't want to be thinking about food 24/7. Yes, yes, yes. Another focus inside of Conquer is getting rid of your urges. Getting rid of that demanding urge so that you can sit down and have a bowl of ice cream and move on with your night. You can have 1 or 2 cookies and not continue eating them because you've gotten rid of your urges. This is what it actually means to get rid of your urges. We also focus on body image because a lot of the times you're binging because, oh, I'm bloated, I'm uncomfortable because of these body image struggles. Somebody makes a comment about the way your body looks and it sends you into a binge or a week of restriction. You have to master your mind. The mindset piece is so important. Getting out of the all or nothing mentality. Feeling safe to let go of binge eating. Like I was talking about working through this love-hate relationship with food and binging. How many of you know you have a love-hate relationship with binging? You're like, I hate it, but I also like it and I don't know if I want to give it up. That was me. And I was like, I have to work through this love-hate relationship because I don't want to be engaging in these self-sabotaging behaviors anymore. And that's what I can help you with. Ending emotional eating. That's also another focus. So every single month, there's a new focus. Every single thing that you need to conquer binge eating, I got your back. Now, not only are you going to get access, when you join now, you get immediate access to Break the Late Night Binge because we're running that program right now. You're also going to get access to my Root and Rewire membership. So that's over 14 hours of trainings on how to stop secret eating, what to do before, during, and after a binge, how to rewire your brain, how to control your crazy cravings, how to master your habits. You're going to instant access to that. The next program is Eat Normally. So like I said, everything that you need to know about how to stop your crazy food thoughts, stop eating when you're full, not having stress or anxiety when you're eating food, just feeling super effortless for you. And then all other programs coming up, Stop the Urge, Master Your Mind for a Binge-Free Life, Body Image Boost, all those programs. Every single thing, I don't want to binge. Yes. Yeah. Every single thing that you need to conquer binge eating is inside of this program. No more urges to binge. And by the way, if you want to join, the only way you can join is if you DM me Conquer, and I'll send you the details because I want to make sure that the right people are coming inside. So literally right now, before I even share the special offer at the end, DM me right now, Conquer. We have an incredible group and I'm very protective of this space. You have to message me Conquer and I'll make sure that it's a perfect fit. This is for you if you don't want a single urge to binge. You want to break free from nighttime binging. You want to feel amazing and confident in your own skin. You want to get back in tune with your hunger and fullness cues. Goodbye all or nothing mentality, so you can have some chocolate with your lunch and not blow the whole rest of the day, but rather still make yourself a nutritious dinner at the end of the day. No more self-soothing with food. You know how to process your emotions. No more secret eating. And here's the thing. This is who I really created Conquer for. Gone are the days where you're told what to eat, how much to eat. Oh, you got to track your food. Oh, you got to weigh yourself. Oh, you got to take pictures. You're done with that. You don't want to be dieting. You don't want to be taking progress photos. You're like, I'm ready to stop my binge eating. I want to feel seen by a community of other powerful badasses. I want to surround myself with people who are actually serious about conquering binge eating and aren't talking about how many calories they consumed for lunch. So this is who I created Conquer for. It's like, you're so serious about conquering binge eating. You want to feel free. One of my clients just went on a trip to Miami and had the best time of her life. She wasn't even thinking about food and calories. She went to a wedding this past weekend. She said, I've never had the most fun. Why? Because she doesn't have urges. Why? She doesn't think about food anymore. Why? Because she's owning her food choices and she's confident and she can actually stop eating when she's full. She's living her life. This is what will happen when you work with me inside of Conquer. Okay, so I'm going to share the special bonus. Nobody knows about this actually. By the way, if you want to get in on this, you have to DM me Conquer. So just message me on Conquer. So drop an emoji if you want to hear about this. Nobody knows about this. Even for those of you guys who are inside of Conquer or you're an Academy client, of course, you're going to get access to this. Nobody knows about this, but drop an emoji if you want to hear about this. So on top of all of that, I love that emoji. On top of all of that, so the Root and Rewire membership is included, all the different programs, Break the Late Night Binge you're going to get access to right away. You're going to actually be put into a special group for the rest of September on how to continue being unstoppable to conquer binge eating. I'm going to be dropping powerful audio messages in there multiple times because let's be honest, it's easy to be motivated and inspired on a training, but what you actually need is to be constantly plugged into momentum. So inside of this space, just for people who are inside of Conquer, or if you join today, if you join now, you're going to get plugged into the special chat. You're going to truly feel unstoppable, not just today, not just for this week, not just for this month, but I'm going to give you more behind the scenes of how I continued staying unstoppable, even when I got triggered by a comment. When somebody made a comment about how much I was eating, I'm going to share how I became unstoppable and work through that. How to craft your own version of freedom. I talked about this in the masterclass. How I didn't want to always be eating out all the time. I didn't want chocolate all the time. You got to craft your own version of freedom and staying in your own lane. If your version of freedom is, I want dark chocolate and dates and peanut butter, and you prefer that over maybe a brownie at the restaurant, own that. Own that. I'm going to help you become so freaking unstoppable, staying in your own lane, developing your own version of freedom. This is going to be a powerful space. Anyone who is inside of Conquer already, you're going to get access to this. And anyone who joins will also get access to this on top of all the bonuses, the Break the Late Night Binge. We actually have a training for Break the Late Night Binge tomorrow. So if you're interested in joining Conquer, today would be a good time to join because we have our Break the Late Night Binge tomorrow. We also have a Q&A on Thursday. And then the trainings on Eat Normally coming up, getting rid of your urges, ending emotional eating, getting out of the all or nothing mentality. So you have to message me Conquer for details, and I'm going to make sure that it's a perfect fit. Okay. All right, you guys. So before we wrap up, there was a giveaway. I'm getting all of your DMs right now. Okay, there was a giveaway. I'm just seeing your messages. So message me Conquer to get inside. The giveaway, one person won $111 credit towards any of my programs. This person just won a giveaway. And she's inside of the Tough Love Binge Free Bootcamp. But this winner is Angie Bennett Heitman. So congratulations. I'm so excited. I will message you right after, and you won $111 credit towards any of my programs. If you want to jump inside of Conquer, that would be a good time to use that as well too. Oh my God, it's you. I didn't even know. I didn't recognize the name. Oh, that's amazing. I'm so excited. Oh, this is going to be amazing. Okay, we'll message you after. I just feel like you'd be the perfect fit. So that's so exciting. Okay, you guys, we are wrapping up this masterclass. Tomorrow, I will be live on Zoom at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You're going to want to come on because we're actually going to be doing some Q&As. So it's going to be incredible. All right, you guys, DM me Conquer if you are truly serious about conquering binge eating. You're not here to just say, I want to conquer binge eating. You're not here to just say, like, oh, one day I hope. It's like, you want to feel so excited that you have the right support, the right community, the right tools to get rid of your urges, not be doing something that's actually creating these urges. So this is the program, everything that you need: body image, ending nighttime binging, mastering your mind, getting out of the all or nothing mentality, getting rid of your urges, ending nighttime binging, eating intuitively without spiraling out of control, everything that you need. I created this program for you because I know you're serious about conquering binge eating. So DM me Conquer. I cannot wait. I'm seeing all of your messages flood in right now. So I'll get back to you as soon as we get off this call. But thank you guys. Oh, I just saw the message. Alice, yay, I'm so excited. Okay. I will get back to you guys as soon as I jump off this. Message me Conquer. I'll send you the details. And I cannot wait to see you inside this life-changing program and help you conquer binge eating. Okay, bye guys.